Thank you so much. Very honored and privileged to be able to share my perspectives for once somewhere else than a FinTech conference. So excited to be speaking with you here. My background is from also Nokia and startups, but for the last 6 years or so I have been working for OP Finance Group, now currently running the OP Lab for the 2nd year. And in OP Lab, we're trying our best in finding new opportunities for OP Finance Group in terms of business models and ways to address the future needs of our customers. And I want to share 2 perspectives today. First of all, a perspective for the digitalization as I see it based on my experience. And then I will want to share sort of 3 paths of thought or words of advice on what we as incumbents can do to address the changes that are happening in our industries. So let's start with this definition and theme of digitalization. And to be precise, I'd rather want to talk about technology and the very fact how it's changing our lives. World Economic Forum already said before that it's the 4th industrial transformation that we're living and digitalization actually happened. In OP Lab, we are following some 10, 11 different technology or customer behavior themes that we believe to be of great significance. And quite a few of these are applicable also for retail industry, aren't they? When you think about the robotics, drones, unmanned aerial vehicles and such, they hold a great promise in being able to be one of the solutions for the last mile delivery. According to a recent interview in Bloomberg magazine, Amazon estimates that up to 80 or 90% of the deliveries in short future will be delivered using UAVs or drones of sorts. Artificial intelligence is a topic that we often like to talk about, and the next speaker will go deeper on the topic, I understood. Artificial intelligence is one of those things that can help us enhance the productivity by great lengths, but also improve the customer experience even more. I'm sure many of you have seen a clip going around in YouTube where they have applied machine learning for Barack Obama's videos, and they've been able to produce a very convincing video of him speaking the words that are typed using a computer. So there's no question whether you can build personalized experiences using artificial intelligence. You can, for sure. Conversational interfaces have been making their way for 30 years at least, since the times that we saw Michael Knight talking to a watch and to the car. They've been coming. Currently, the forecast is that within the next 5 years, up to 70% of US citizens will be having access to some sort of a voice-based speaker or a device that is intelligent and is capable of understanding speech. These all forces of technology are exponentially changing things as they are, and they're also building on one another. And while that is happening, we see Moore's law coming into practice. The very law that says that next year there will be twice as much transistors in the same space. The very rule that is driving down the cost of all R&D and creation of software. Now these forces together are forcing us in every industry to a place where instead of having to care about production costs, we will have to care about competition much more. We see this already in app stores. There are literally thousands and thousands of competitors to all of us. When you search for finance, for instance, you will find more than 9,000 different applications from an app store. And it's a horrible scenario for any incumbent. This is, in fact, the scenario that is being drawn out for finance technology currently. There are literally hundreds and thousands of different fintech applications that are attacking the core business of finance industry. And I wouldn't be surprised if this would be the exact same scenario for retail as well. However, the point that I want to make with this technology enhancing competition is actually this. Technology is also changing customers. And that's, to me, the most profound impact of technology. As we've been using Uber or Airbnb or Spotify or Netflix, our behavior changes. We're coming to expect the same sort of degree of simplicity and personalization from every single service that we use. And this can be seen from reports like this one, analyzing the future of commerce. You can literally see that the new forms of commerce are already here, but people are not necessarily all the way there. In the bottom line of the report, you can see that there's already growth in voice-based commerce and mobile, not to the degree that you can see in desktop and physical stores, but it's growing and it's there. In other words, our customers are spreading across a spectrum. There are people who prefer the old-fashioned model. There are people who prefer the current standard. There are people who want to have the latest and greatest. And this possesses a significant challenge for any incumbents. So the point of this is that digitalization to me is a change in customer behavior, not just availability of technology. And customers are changing because everything is becoming easier, faster, and cheaper. So what? What should we do as incumbents? Well, the industry lines are sort of fading away. When you think about Amazon, you think about Kindles and the online stores and the warehouses, but they have so many other things, including financial products. And it doesn't make sense to say that they're an online store anymore because there are so much other things. What they are is a company that has a vision and is executing the single vision. And I think that principle of following the customer instead of the industry is one that every incumbent should embrace. That's certainly something that we're trying to do. So we're extending our financial core with the products and services that we believe people will be willing to buy. We're following the customer from owning a car into providing usage of car as a service. The second point is that we're seeking collaboration to achieve greater speed. This is a picture of one of the challenges that we held recently for startups. SmartMile is also here. It was one of the winning startups from our program, all in effort of trying to figure out the ways that we can serve our customers better. Startups is a great resource for partnering and combining forces. DriveNow was a different sort of a partnership that we executed for the same reason. This one is joint forces with BMW and Sixt, but still enables us to tell the story of being able to provide mobility services for Finns in the capital region. It's still about providing access to the car instead of owning one. In terms of partnership opportunities for retail area, I just want to emphasize that we've been investing heavily in our capabilities and core skills for mobile payments and payments in general. So if you feel tempted that you should find a partner that can help and work with you, we're definitely willing and able in the form of payments. The third point that I want to mention goes along with Arhi's presentation earlier. He was making a point about doing smaller things. I'm in full belief that that's the only way forward, and I'm sure the engineer who invented digital camera in Kodak would agree. The way we've been doing small increments of progress is through OP Lab. And in OP Lab, the focus is to find true collaboration as well as innovation, the sorts of things that consumers would be interested in doing. So we're researching both technology as well as customer behavior and trying to experiment through this funnel through use of internal startups. We're using sort of merit-based funding where the project gets additional funding based on the progress that they are able to make, and that's why we are securing a higher degree of success stories in a lesser time. This is one example of our experiment. It's a co-working space. It might be the future of our bank branches, but who knows? And that's why we are experimenting. Through these experiments, we've received some appreciation and honors, although that's not really the point. The point is that we're focused on following the customer by experimenting and collaborating. Thank you.